So therein lies the game of the prosecution versus the defense. And I know you must be salivating to talk about this.
No, it's a game, like it's a chess match, and it's a chess match for the biggest prize there is: somebody's life, somebody's future, decades perhaps in prison. And the reason why they're having this chess match in court in front of a jury and a judge is because someone's life has been taken, or in a case of a robbery or an arson or a rape or a kidnapping. You're playing for all the marbles, and this is serious, serious stuff. And the defense attorney, he's a seasoned pro. I thought he did a good job. He was handed this case only a couple of months ago, and he had to run with it and do the best he could. I thought he did an excellent job. She was well represented. I thought the prosecutor did an excellent job too. At the end, when he was talking about he was referring to the suitcase as a box. I thought he did a good job, because he's pointing to that on the floor. I know everybody in that jury looked at that and said, a guy died inside that little suitcase. And that really was probably floored them. And so therefore, he appealed to them the way a prosecutor could. She got an excellent trial. She got an excellent defense attorney, excellent prosecutor, excellent judge. And yeah, our system may be slow, but let's remember, she made it slow. And, we had COVID, of course, in there too, but she made it slow with all of her machinations. This trial could have taken place 2 years ago, but she made it slow. And this is part of maybe why people can criticize our criminal justice system, because maybe it is slow, but it's slow and steady. And we want it to be done. All the trials, we want it to take place in a setting of calm and in retrospect, so people could present their case the best they can. Remember, she goes into that trial with the presumption of innocence, and the burden is always on the prosecutor. And so therefore, the defense has some things going for it, because the entire load of defense, the entire load of evidence, the entire requirement, the responsibility for presenting evidence is on the prosecutor. And so she didn't have to present anything. So that's how trials go. And she decided to, with her defense, she got the ability to do it. The judge ruled in her favor. And so she cannot complain that she did not get a full and fair trial.
Absolutely. From the chat, I really want to share a lot of the chat today, because I really respect all your opinions. Most of you have followed this case right from the beginning. Northwest, Rachel Wright, 90% of the case was her words and videos she took. Northwest, you're 100% correct. Yeah. H. Cook, conjecture. Northwest, Danny Mitchell, yes. Maui Swift, she was the only one in the room who thought she was the victim. Yeah. Maui, I think you're right, but then my father-in-law watches every one of these shows, and he always calls me afterwards and gives his opinion. And he felt that I was too pro-prosecution, and I didn't mention enough how she was victimized, that she was. But this was and I explained to my father-in-law, I've responded to these type of cases during my police career. And the job of an NYPD sergeant when he responds to these is to try to determine who is the primary aggressor. In this case, from what I understood, there was a couple times they were both arrested. So the police couldn't determine so they were both abusive to each other. So very difficult situation for law enforcement. Route Irish. I was so angry when Owens claimed mistrial because Jorge's mom had a reaction to the suitcase video. Yeah, that's absolutely ridiculous that they were going to try to say, oh, that's a mistrial. It's like if you ever play cards among friends and the dealer screws up and everyone says, oh, mistrial. And you'll have 3 aces in your hand when someone tries to declare a mistrial. You're like ready to kill the dealer for making a mistake. But you don't have to say, well, no, we can fix this. Just do this and do that. We'll fix it. It's not a mistrial. I shouldn't be comparing playing cards to a trial like this, but there are people that always want to, take the easy way out. Dragonfly Lady, I didn't like it when the defense lawyer called Jorge Torres a monster during his closing. I don't like it when the victim is put on trial, especially in this case. Dragonfly Lady, that's part of what being a defense attorney is. And they have the leeway to do things like that and to call the victim name like he did. I mean, it would have been up to the prosecution to object to it. I don't know if they did object to them calling names, but you didn't like it, and I respect that. But they're allowed to do that. Northwest, she may have 3 areas to file an appeal on. Highly unlikely appeals will be successful. I agree. Maui Smith, her lawyer said she thought she was the abused one. Yeah, I mean, Maui and everyone else, there was areas of this that you might think that is appealable. And, there's no doubt she's going to appeal at our expense, of course. The taxpayer will pay the freight. And you always wonder if someone's paying for their own attorney, would they be so generously filing appeals on their behalf?